Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah, because my recording like got fucked up and I had to stop it and restart it, and I just now remembered to restart it. So
What happened? It's
make
all
sure
in our
We
head.
won't remember.
make sure you remember it and write it down because yeah, that was not in the not being recorded at all. So your head is now giant.
Have they not discovered the superior sound quality of vinyl yet?
So yeah, you're standing there with a giant head, and your tormentor is stuck in the mud, and your
I
friends
bring the
are
demon
driving.
grinder to a screeching halt, and I shout out to Scree in the front, and I say, "Scree, Zoe got stuck."
I immediately like hit the brakes and turn around.
As soon as Scree gets within range of the vehicle, I say, "I'm gonna go down and help get them out." Can I climb down from the thing and safely not land in the Icor, or is it like all over? That was just random, right? Like we can walk around it.
Yes, but you have now crossed out of the mosquito clouds. But actually, Zoe is still in the mosquito clouds. I need to roll damage for that. Sorry, not damage. I have to see if it hits him first. Shouldn't jump ahead, right? Okay, so misses. So the mosquitoes try to bite. So you could go in and try to help him, but you would be walking back into the mosquito clouds.
Question, and I don't know if I need to roll a check to know this or not. If I have an AoE spell going around myself that deals damage, would it kill the mosquitoes that are in the area around me? Avoid using that if I needed to, but they must be creatures if they're attacking our AC, right? If it was like poison.
Hold on.
Does it say anything in there about attacking them?
One moment. I think the answer is yes, and it just has to do with their hit points. Looks like their hit points are 22.
Spell that I have. Oh, how many mosquitoes are they? Like big mosquitoes?
No, just swarm of insects. But it's not one swarm in a 5-foot space. It's basically like a wall of swarms.
All over.
Okay, but we only get attacked by one at a time.
Yeah.
Do you realize how many things had to line up just perfectly for that to happen, and then we make that reference?
And we can't calculate it. We'd have to do it by memory
84.
because it wasn't being recorded.
I just posted vague references to it on Facebook.
I saw it.
It is, though. You had to lose, like, most of those were like 50-50s. So you had to lose like 6 50-50s in a row to get that. So, I mean, we're talking about...
And then you had to roll a
D... Are these clean?
And then you had to roll a D100 and hit it on whatever the range was for that, whether, I don't know, 1 or 10 or what.
So, I'm just going to tell you guys so that you'll be interested, is that it's not that your head always gets big. Demon Icor warps your flesh.
It's a random D100. Yeah.
And it's a D100 of various things that it can do to your body. And some of them are actually not necessarily bad. I mean, I guess they're all kind of bad, but not necessarily. Like, you know, maybe you grow fins and you can swim better or something like that.
It's like the madness things with the potion effects in the last one. It's something we're not gonna try to get, but when it happens, we're not instantly dead. It's just something crazy that happens.
That's cool. Now I'll look like I'm from a modern day cartoon.
It occurs to you that you could probably coat your weapons in this and apply the effects to a target if you were to hit it.
I dipped my hands in the yicker.
we could gather some of it while we're here, but
you could gather a flask. I think you have some empty flasks.
If we don't know what it does, it could also, we could imagine we hit like a monster with it and it grows twice its size and it's like, oh great, now we got that to deal with.
Oh, make a religion check to see how.
Also, that's what would happen too.
Are the boggles still around?
Yeah, but they're not like
Or are we
close.
past them?
They're more around. You're kind of past them because you're getting towards the edge. You're basically exiting the swamp. There's still some around
Hello?
Zoe. They're not like immediately interested in him.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Here,
No.
Nick.
I mean, hello from the big
Not
giant
working,
head.
huh?
I think Nick might have disconnected again. But
Interrupting.
okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I'm like stuck, or if it's a case of I get up and walk my, pathetic ass back.
Yeah, but mainly what I'm concerned about right now is we need to go in there and get the machine unstuck, and it looks like there's going to be mosquitoes attacking us the whole time. So it might be a good idea just to send me in, because I've got the highest AC and also the highest strength, so I can go in and just try and wrench this thing out.
Don't you have a crane or something on your vehicle?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. What does it have?
Yeah.
I think
I'm
it
back,
has a
by the
wrecking
way.
ball. I know. We'll come back.
If I'm stuck too, just leave me. Take the vehicle and go.
No, the vehicle's what we care more about.
I know.
I don't think we have a crane. We have a wrecking ball and a chomper, and I don't think either one of those would be able to really wrench it out. We might be able to like push it with the vehicle if we need to. But more what I'm concerned about is who's going to be doing what. The last question I asked, which I think is when you disconnected, are the boggles still around, Nick?
Yes, but no. They're around, but okay. So you, Raxlor and Scree, or you're basically exiting the swamp. So the boggles that are around are only around Zoe, but they're not closing in. But if you hung out there for a while, then they might. But they're not like
we're gonna
coming
go.
towards
We're
you.
gonna go in and try to get the. We're gonna go in and try to get the vehicle out. I just wanted to know if we need to have like a whole crew go in to fight off the monsters that might attack us, or if we have enough time to go in and free the thing.
Probably, yeah. They're not
potentially.
like thick. They're just scattered here and
Okay.
there, and they're doing their own nasty things.
Okay, so the other question would be: is Zoe actually stuck, or did she just fall face first? Now has a giant head, but can safely walk out.
Yep, she was able to stand up and everything, and now has a giant head. And the tormentor doesn't look like it's stuck horribly bad. And one option is to just try to power, just power it out of the mud.
Let me try that first. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Okay,
3
so
hours later.
I shout back to you and I say, Zoe, are you okay over there? Looks like you got stuck. Don't get a big head.
I'm fine. Let me try and wedge this thing. I mean, I'm fine. Let me try to wedge this thing out of here.
Okay, well, we'll be here if
Better
you
not.
need us. Just watch out for those mosquitoes.
Just, I say that in like a big giant head girl voice. Okay, all right. So I want to try and power the machine out of here.
Okay, so you jump back in the driver's seat and you crank the engine and you floor it. Now, give me a strength saving throw, but I'm going to give you the modifier because it's the vehicles. So you're going to roll it with a +3, and you don't get advantage because the juke is only for dexterity saving throws.
17. Oh, you kick into gear so hard, you go flying off of it again.
Oh, good, because if you failed the strength check, then your furnace ruptures, and then I gotta start tracking that. So yes, that is the success you really need. Flames roar out of the exhaust as the tormentor pops loose, and mud goes flying up behind you along with a bunch of smoke as you haul ass out of the swamp, and the mosquitoes get one last crack at you. And that's going to be 14, which is a miss. And you burst forth from
Killer motion, like, let's keep going. Turn back around.
Yep, and now you catch up to the team, and you're out of the mosquito clouds, and the boggles fade off into the distance.
Oh, nice.
You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
I almost have to just check in every 5 minutes now. I guess at
you
this point,
guys also just say yes randomly every now and again?
No.
Just for no reason? Yes.
Okay, so the swamp ends and the terrain returns to barren, scorched steppes. Also the smell of the swamp fades away as you gain distance on it. And I don't know, it smelled like burning rubber mixed with rotting corpses. Yeah, something like that.
So it smells like
now?
It smells like burning rubber mixed with rotting corpses. There's horrifying monsters dragging their knuckles through a questionable slime. When did we go to James's house?
All right. You see the tower of you can on the horizon you can see the tower
Mordenkainen's tower?
Nah, I need to rephrase this. The thing about notes is they're not always like 100% consistent. So let me try this again. Valrog tells you that no, I'm okay. Let me give you your options. You can rest now because you just got through this mosquito field if you think you need to. If you do, then you won't make it to the tower until the morning. If you proceed now, you can make it to the tower at the end of the day. And, you know, conceivably
is
rest
there really
there,
day and nighttime?
No, but there are travel cycles. So it doesn't matter day versus night.
Okay.
It just matters that if you take a rest now, then you'll need to take an 8-hour long rest before you proceed.
We want to power through and get to the thing. I don't think anyone's severely hurt other than Jibs, and we just took a rest. So we want to continue going until we reach the tower. Once we get there, we can reassess, probably rest if we need to. We don't want to keep traveling if we don't need to, but depending on what time we get there. But we do want to keep going if we think we're almost there.
Oh, sure, I'll be fine. But seriously, we'll be able to do more at the tower for me than now if we stop. But in a girl's voice.
I say, maybe Mordenkainen will have some sort of a cure for that. He lives so close to the swamp. I'm sure he's had people come in here with that problem.
Zoe and Raxlor, each of you make a religion check to see if you can figure out how to reverse the effects of the demon Ichor.
I rolled a 14.
Okay, Zoe doesn't know. Raxlor, you don't know for sure what sort of an effect it would be, but you think that it's within your ability to cure. You think that there's some cleric spell within your power level that could cure this if you select the right one, but you're just not quite sure.
I'll try casting Dispel Magic on you before we rest next time, and then if that doesn't work, then I'll take like Lesser Restoration.
If it doesn't work, I'll just deal.
Yeah, we'll see. But also, it'd be good to know, like, if it happens again in the future. So it might not be that bad of an effect right now, but I think it'd be beneficial to try. But I'm not going to waste a 3rd level spell slot right now just to find out it doesn't. So next time we have the prospect of a long rest, that'll be the first thing I do is use up I'll try and save a 3rd level spell slot. I'll cast that on you.
Yeah, if you can't save a 3rd level, it's not the end of the world. I mean,
Yeah.
We don't know what's
3rd
going to
or
end up
4th.
happening, but we'll figure. Yeah, we'll. Yeah.
It could also be remove curse, which is more likely, but I don't have that one memorized right now. And it could also be lesser restoration, although I doubt that. So, yeah, we'll talk next time we come to do a rest, but I don't think that's affecting you. I asked Zoe if the head is affecting her physiologically in any way. Does she feel like she has any sort of balance problems or health issues regarding it, or is it just cosmetic?
Nope, cosmetic.
Yeah. Okay, so I say, yeah, not a big deal. It could be a poison. I could try protection from poison that neutralizes the poison on you. So there's a number of things. We'll ask Mordenkainen, maybe he knows. I mean, Dispel Magic's all I got up right now, so that's the first step.
And
So,
I can always try
trial
cure
and error.
wounds before we go to bed too.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
silver barbs.
yeah, if it's just, yeah, we'll try that one. Yeah, if it's just a healing spell, that'd be the easiest. But we don't want to waste that right now because you're HP. But yeah, next time we get a rest. So we would like to power on and continue to the tower.
Yep.
And I'm going to run to the restroom just real quick. I don't know if everyone wants to do a break, but I'm going to be quick.
Yeah, we can do a break.
Gotta admit, it was Nick I thought would catch the reference and say something about it. Not Jake.
About Big Giant Head?
Yeah, I'm just glad somebody did, because then I would have felt really stupid. I'm sitting here on Dick, Harry, and Sally. Big Giant Head.
At first, I didn't get it because they were such generic names, and then I was like, "Well, who's the last one? Big Giant Head? Oh." Plus, my mom has been watching it lately. It's been on. They've been doing reruns of it.
I haven't watched that show probably in 10 years.
I just
such a great show.
I just now finally figured out what you were talking about.
You didn't even get it.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I actually
Holy crap.
I shouted out when I realized it, but then I noticed I was on mute. So I got it about 90 seconds ago.
Okay. During
That's
this conversation.
Hilarious.
Yeah, when you said the names, well, because I'm DMing, so I just heard names. You're like Tom, Dick, Harry, and Sally, and I'm like Tom, Dick, and Harry. Okay, I don't get it, but
they are such generic names, and that's the whole point. They picked the generic names to be less conspicuous as humans.
Yeah, I never actually
Tom,
got
Dick,
that
and
either.
Harry.
And it's Tom, Dick, Harry, and Sally. Yeah, Tom, Dick, and Harry. God, that show was brilliant on so many freaking levels.
Okay, I don't know if we want to do a 5-minute break. I'm gonna run and then come back, so I'll be waiting for you guys to come back if anyone else goes. But
okay, I'll be here, but yeah, just let me know when you're back, and if anyone else needs to, go ahead.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Just saving some pictures.
Yeah, so I noticed it used to be super easy to save pictures on the computer. And then they announced something about copyright BS, and it was like, you can still save pictures, but we're gonna like hide it in the context menu. And then I noticed on the Google search app, like on your phone when you search on just the Google, it doesn't let you save pictures from that. You can't just hold tap on it and save pictures. There's no way to save it. You have to open the web page in Chrome, find the picture on the page, and then you can save it. But on the computer, you can still just copy and paste or open image in new tab and then save it. But then the other day, I was having trouble even doing that. Like I tried saving it and it wouldn't save, and I tried copying and it wouldn't copy. And so I think they're trying to introduce some kind of a AI technology that stops you from right-clicking on it or something.
On what? On Google Photos?
On the Google website. Like you go to Google Images and search, and you find a picture and you click on it and it shows it to you. It wouldn't even let me like right-click and save the image.
Okay. Well, odds are that's nothing more than a real quick right-click script, and
Yeah.
you can easily counter that with a Chrome add-on called Scripty
Yeah.
and a couple lines. I do shit like that all the time. Like there's so many things like at work and stuff. It's like, this is such a pain in the ass. You have to go through. Okay, I'll just do this. Okay, there we go. Hey,
Yeah.
yay!
Just script
What
your
am-
way out of it.
Yeah, I love like saving bits of code that and injecting it like on sites to do the shit I want.
Mm-hmm. I had something like that. There was some kind of a glitch I had where my browser wouldn't load or something, and I had to set up a script that I would click a link, and it would run the script to clear something, not the cache, clear my sockets, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
No,
I haven't had any trouble with it recently. I think it might have just been an experiment or maybe a glitch, but yeah, it was annoying.
Yeah, now that I think about it, there's probably a reason I got hacked. No, but like, okay, at work, on our WordPress site, our WordPress is not kept up to date, and we have a lot of plugins we don't need, and they interfere with each other. And so I'll be working on the dashboard, and there's a common problem we have that blocks like this one section of menus on your pages when you're editing your pages, and it's like all of your admin things for it. Like, do you want the top menu? Do you want the bellow header? Things like that. So instead of finding the flaw in the cause because everybody else is capable of doing it, nobody else wants to, I just wrote a little CSS script that fixes the problem just for me. I can get through that just fine. Then one day, a coworker of mine was complaining about it, and he's one of the coworkers I like, so I gave him. I was like, "Here, download StyleBot and install this." And he's like, "Oh my god, thank you!" Because forcing and finding the way around this one little thing, is such a headache, but it's just such a small little piece of CSS that got glitched.
Yeah.
Could do it for everyone, but no, they're all assholes.
Yeah, what's the point of giving like the fix to everyone? You fixed it. It's not a problem for you, and you know how to fix it for other people.
Yep. I'm kind of an asshole, I think.
You know, I think it also has to do with the website, because like some websites it'll just have an image, but like these other, like Forgotten Realms fandom.com, all it has is this stupid web part bullshit.
Yeah. Oh my god, you know what? You might be talking about Jake, and in which case you might be fucked. There is it made me think of it, it's a canvas thing where it does a drawing canvas, doesn't directly link to the image or any of that, and you can't actually get any of the image data unless you want to dig through the resources.
Yeah, it's displayed on it. It's not the actual image embedded, it's just displayed through something else.
Yes, it's a canvas thing, and I hate sites that use that. I will. Yeah. Oh my god.
It seems to be working right now. I don't know exactly what it was that I had experienced. I'm hoping it was just some weird glitch, and then they fixed
Yeah.
it. But I know that they're working towards making it harder to just download images from
Yep.
Google Images for copyright purposes.
It's yes, and Chrome is one of the ones that applies to that standard. Like if you're watching Netflix and you hit print screen,
Yep.
if you're in Chrome, you get a black screen.
I've tried print screen. I've tried snipping. Literally, there is no way to save a picture from Netflix.
But there is. Would you like to know?
Okay, there's no out of the box user friendly way.
Yes, there is. Would you like to know?
Oh yeah, what?
Firefox doesn't give a shit about that stuff.
See, I stopped short of bothering to download another browser.
I spent hours wasting on that one when I was trying to screenshot something for a meme, and I so much research that I found out, like, wait, this is a security thing, and Firefox says fuck you to these security issues. They don't, on that type of stuff, they don't care. And now Netflix is always watched in Firefox.
I wondered how people. I'm like, I always see full quality, high resolution Netflix screenshots.
Yep.
How do they get those?
But like, okay, I did discover in Chrome, if you covered the window by like more than like 50%, you could screenshot that and it would work. And as long as something else, I would do stuff where I have like 3 windows that were active, on another screen in front of it, and it still wouldn't. But if you physically block like over 50 to 75% of the window in Chrome, the screenshot will take, but only of that little bit that's displayed. So then you have to like
Just
move
patch
the
it
windows
together.
around and then piece them together. And then use Firefox. Just start watch Netflix in Firefox and you will be happy.
What's funny is the way that I ended up getting around it, because it was for Squid Game that I wanted to screenshot, is I just went and found a pirated version of it and I got my screenshot from there. They think they're so smart. Oh, we're gonna make it. No, I'm just gonna go fucking pirate it if you're gonna stop me from watching the content I paid for.
These security issues and all of these things like this only work if everyone complies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? I just print screened on Netflix and it worked. So they must have just
Really?
said fuck it. Yep.
May have.
Interesting. Anyway, but yeah, it doesn't really help if the problem is that it's a different file type, like a WebP instead of a JPEG.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what Nick's problem was.
Okay, so
well, in the future, you can load it in Firefox.
Yeah, thank you.
So pushing through the day.
Was Will back?
Oh, it was.
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay.
Great, you guys can hear me, right?
We are continuing on to the tower and hoping that.
No.
I mean, even if a big combat happens, we can take it.
Hello.
Fine.
God damn. Wow, Discord can't even stay connected. Can you guys hear me?
Can't hear yet.
No, can't hear me.
Hello, Nick.
Now we could.
Oh.
Disconnected this last time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Nick, I have a question.
Yes.
What if I had been wearing like a steel plate helm when I fell in the Icar and that happened? Would my head have popped like I had, like brain swelling? Would the helmet have popped? Would it have been a check? Would I have just been trapped in it screaming in pain as my head swelled? What would have happened?
Yeah, it would be like it'd be like brain swelling and your head would just crush up against the side of the helmet.
You would have
So
gotten
my in-game character would have been experiencing what I feel like every day of my life since November of 2008.
Basically, yeah.
That is one of the most depressing things I've ever had thought about in my life, and now I'm definitely going to,
fantasy role playing the same
fix my
problems you have
website.
in real life.
God damn it! Why did we have to go and get a job? This is a game.
Yeah, with my connection, so our Wi-Fi is just like fucked. Like with whatever happened, I mean, it was already shitty, and now it's running, but like Discord is barely hanging on. I've got one bar on Discord, so yeah, I can't stream. I can actually even barely do Discord, but I could do it on like my phone or something. But I'd like to actually be able to record, so I'll see if I can get this improved before next time. But yeah, so let me know, because a lot of times I'm trying to talk, but I realize, oh, you guys can't hear me, and then I just have to.
Can you still hear us when that happens?
Sometimes, usually, I mean, like you stop hearing me before I stop hearing you, because the connection's already cut and I'm getting like cached, delayed, info.
We get like, we'll stop hearing you like for a couple of seconds, and then we pause, and then I say, hello, are you still there? And then like 15 seconds later you'll disconnect. So we do say it. There's just no way to, when your internet's down, there's no way to communicate to the internet's down.
Yeah, if I hear you saying that, you can't hear me respond, and it's already disconnected, so I just go ahead and shut it down. Okay, so you see the wizard's tower in the distance, and you push and push and push, and you make it to a staging, like kind of a campgrounds, near a Styx water lake that runs off from the river Styx, and in the middle of the lake rises a tall tower. And as you arrive, the tower fades away, and you realize that it was a mirage, and instead you see the base of a large tower. And from what you can see, it almost looks like hollow, like it's like the base and foundation are there, but the rest of the tower is missing. Along the shore of the lake, not too far ahead of you, you see various fiendish creatures wandering around, and I'm going to show you what some of those look like. And
while you're pulling up and sending the images, fiendish what? I missed the noun part of that.
Creatures.
Okay.
So you see, most of them are those guys.
You said the tower is on an island in the middle of the lake with like no way to get to it?
Yeah. And there's kind of like a shore area facing towards the tower, and that is where the fiendish creatures are gathered. And they seem to be kind of milling around. Some of them have like little modest camps set up. There's a couple of campfires burning. Some of them are sitting around, so they're not like geared up for battle. It looks like more like they're waiting. From here, that's the best that you can see. And this is mainly what you see. You see a few guys that are like big, hulking, green, gargoyle-y looking things. And then you see most of them, maybe a little less than a dozen, are these black insect looking things, which you actually recognize.
So there's like a bunch of these things, and they're all around. So it's not like a situation where it's like go up and combat and counter a couple of monsters. This is like an encampment of them.
Pretty much, yeah. They're not like all together in one spot. They're spread out a little bit, but they're all in the same basic area. Encampment would be a good way of describing it, except there's not a lot of like structures. Being fiendish creatures, they don't really, necessarily need the same accoutrements that you would normally need. But you do see like little like stumps for sitting, half-ass tent shelters, a couple of campfires, one snuffed out, a couple other ones going, like just that kind of situation. There's a very casual sort of sense to the way that they're all existing.
So it's a large gathering, but they're not like, it's not like a small camp where it's like, okay, let's go in and kill these guys.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
We don't think we can probably take them all.
Yeah, probably more than you wouldn't want to just go in and kill all these things. I mean, numbers wise. But also they don't look like a battle encampment. I mean, they're definitely big, scary looking monsters, but, and you don't know why they're here, but they're not like dressed for war kind of situation. They're not like in formation. They're not like they're just kind of casually waiting around in this area in front of the tower base.
Okay. But the tower is now. Are these creatures are on our side of the lake, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in order to get to the tower, we have to pass through them and then cross the water, and then the tower is on the other side.
Pretty much. And the tower is
could go around them.
Yeah.
You could approach an area of the lake that they're not at, but it would not be convenient to where the tower is. The tower is actually not there at the moment, but you do see a base of a tower, but you do not see a tower. You did see a tower, but as you got close, you realized it's a mirage, but it does look like a tower could be there, but there is not a tower there.
Yeah, but there's not nothing. It's not empty. It's not like we got close and the tower disappeared. It just looks like it wasn't what it appeared to look like from a distance.
Yeah, it could be invisible. It could. I mean, there because of the base, it looks like there's something there. But I mean that there could or should.
Regardless,
or would.
We need to. Unless something indicates otherwise, we're trying to get across the lake to the tower. But it does look like there's some trickery going on. But of course, it's Mordenkainen.
So Valrog's going to speak to you and say, "Well, here you are, the wizard's tower. I mean, good luck. Good luck with getting him to help you. But I mean, for information, I think he's a safer bet than some old hag. So, yeah, let me know if you need anything. But I should probably stay out of it. He probably wouldn't really be too interested in talking with me. I would think."
I say, yeah, well, if you want to just kind of, if we do end up talking to him, you can probably just stay quiet and we'll hope he doesn't recognize you, but maybe, cover you up. I'll put you under my cloak or something like that so he doesn't see you and hope he just doesn't feel your presence, but...
I mean, he's known for he's known for dealing with devils, so it's not like I would think, oh, he's going to be all mad at me. It's just that he's always got some stuff going on, and I would just rather not make myself known to him specifically unless it was really necessary, because, I know Mephistopheles is looking for me right now, and, I don't know what else is going on down here. It's been a while since I've been home, and, they say you can't go home again. But if there's any questions that you have or anything that I could help you with, while you're here, let me know. But, yeah, good luck talking to the wizard.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll keep you under my. If we do get an audience with him, I'll keep you under my cloak, and you'll only come out if we need you. While you are here, though, do you know why these creatures might be just hanging out here offhand?
What creatures? I only have 100 feet of magical sight. What do you see?
So there's like a big encampment, one would say, of devilish creatures, insectoids, and gargoyle lights. And they look like they're not prepared for battle. They're just kind of hanging out here.
Well, okay, you said devilish creatures. Are they devils, or, like, what are they?
They're insectoid and gargoloid creatures. They look like devils, but I don't know.
My advice is try to figure out what they are first, because, like, down here, if it's devils are lawful, and you probably have a pretty good chance to deal with them. Demons are chaotic, and they're a lot more wild card, and you probably don't want to communicate to them without a fight. I don't know, I could give you advice if you get some more information, but, I don't know, they could be...
Are there any insectoid devils? Don't we recognize the bug things you said? What are they?
So the bug
Try
thing...
not to just look them up.
Yeah. You recognize that the bug... And thanks for asking so that I can give you an answer. I describe what you look at, but if you never ask what it is...
You said you recognize them, but you never told us what they actually are, so I was assuming that we knew what they are, and I was communicating that to him, but...
Yes, great. So the bug guy, it's the same bug guy that... or the same type of creature that helped you in the cemetery. There was this bug-like creature that the zombie guy gave you as a helper, and he went down into the catacombs with you and helped you find. Yeah, so it's the same as that guy. So you might remember anything about him, but if you'd like to do a religion check, I can give you information based on that. Because I can't remember exactly what I told you already.
I tell him it's one of those.
Oh, okay.
I tell him what I know. I'm communicating with Balrog what the creatures are, and you're making me repeat it.
Yeah, he goes, a Mesoloth? Well, if you're seeing a bunch of Mesoloths here, then probably all the rest of them are Yugoloths too.
Cut out, but it'll probably cut back in. Here you go.
Uh-oh, am I gone?
Nope, you're good.
No, you're back.
Can you hear me?
It just pauses.
Okay. So, Valrog tells you that, it seems like those are not devils or demons, they're daemons. A daemon, also known as a Yugoloth, is a neutral evil fiend. So, kind of like devils, where they'll make deals and you can communicate with them. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Here's what he tells you. He says, he's describing them, and he says, oh, God. He says, the daemons are known for being perhaps the greatest deceivers in reality, ruling through trickery, bluffs, and misdirection, with such masterfully refined skills of manipulation that even devils could be made to seem like foolish children. He says Yugoloths are possibly the most selfish beings in the multiverse, entities of such bottomless greed that the possibility of unimaginable torture wasn't enough to stem their unending cupidity. The personifications of avarice themselves, these Yugoloths are infamous for backstabbing when presented with greater payment than was given by their previous patrons. Naturally, such self-serving beings are also quarrelsome, regularly bickering, and willing to rip each other to pieces and sell one another out. They gleefully cause pain and misery to those around them, often taking the opportunity to indulge in their violent instincts, but always acting in their own best interests. He says, and how do they become so devious, so callous, you might ask? Well, dear friends, imagine that your closest friend, the being you trust most in the entire world, is suddenly revealed to have been molding you to his needs and goals all along. How do you react? With shock and dismay, certainly, with self-loathing for letting yourself be fooled, and you resolve not to make the same mistake with the next being you choose to befriend. But it happens again, and again, over and over until you become untrusting, using others to see if they have the integrity to treat you as you deserve. By then, of course, you can clearly see how much smarter you are than everyone else, how you can manipulate others to your ends, and then you discover once again that you've been molded. The evolution continues. Though you see the pattern indeed, though you see the pattern all around you, you come to realize that there's something greater. You feel no passion for your inferiors. They can be, should be, nothing but your unwitting pawns. Now you look to control the thing that controls you. So it is with the Yugoloths. Have fun.
Okay. I guess that was the chapter on Yugoloths from the Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Some good information.
Okay, so they're devils, but they're not lawful, and they're demons, but they're not chaotic. Gotcha. And they're deceiving and unloyal. Okay.
You can probably talk to him, but be careful.
Does he know why they might just be hanging out here, or I guess that's just what they do? They just hang out.
Probably looking for tasks. Mordenkainen is by the way, other people pronounce it Mordenkainen. I'm gonna say it however the hell I want.
Yeah.
Mordenkainen
I'm gonna call it Wei Kaiser.
Wei Kaiser is known for being a big like quest giver. So and Avernus is one of the places he likes to travel. And whenever he travels here, he's probably looking for, rewarding creatures for tasks. And daemons love to perform tasks and get rewards. They're very greedy. So most likely that's why they're here in general, is to see what sort of tasks Mordenkainen is looking to have done so that they can, fulfill those quests and gets rewards.
So it's like when you go to a movie that's coming out and you see all the nerds camped out in front and you're like, oh, there must be a new Star Wars movie coming out.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So if they're sitting here waiting, that could mean he's not here because they haven't gotten an audience with him, or it could mean that they're waiting for him to come to them. So either way, we need to get past them to get to the tower. Scree, I think it's going to end up being on you as the scout and the one with the fastest vehicle. So you have some choices based on that information. They're gonna see us rolling up anyway. Like we got the Chug-a-Lug crew coming up with our giant tanks. They're gonna see us coming no matter how we come. You can try to go up there to them first and see what's going on, see why they're there, and then if they start to try and attack you, we can just run because we have vehicles. Or if you think it would be better, we could just avoid them entirely, bring our whole team around the back, and try and get to the island from that side. However, the bigger problem is going to be, how do we cross the water? You said it's the river Styx. It's a tribute.
Yes.
Yeah, your head maybe.
Oh, I think I cut out. Did you hear my answer?
About the river?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Yes, it is the river Styx.
Okay, so we don't want to really go into the river. Do we see any... How far away are we? Any boats on the shore?
Okay, so not to get hung up so far on parallax angles and so forth, looking up ahead, past the crowd of demons at the shore, which is closest to the tower, you do see a sort of a gondola-looking boat. And it looks like it's moored at the shore.
On our side?
Yes. And
Okay,
it's like...
and we only see the one, and it's directly past the demon, the Yugoloths.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we do have fly. We could have two creatures fly across. So we do have a way across without the boat. So Scree, as the scout, it's totally up to you. I think maybe we should try to go to the other side and safely get across rather than confront the Yugoloths, because once we confront them, if they're have in any way aggressive towards us, or like, maybe they'll be like, you can use our boat for a price, and I'm afraid of what they're going to ask for. But what do you think?
Yeesh. I do not particularly want to deal with them. I think it would be best for us to go around the other side.
So then in that case, what we would do, we can't leave our machines here, so we couldn't all go in. We would need to send two creatures across, so we would cast fly on two creatures. Ideally, one of those creatures would be Zoe, because if fly concentration drops, we need a way to get back. So it would probably be you and Zoe. You would need to go in case, because you're like, you're probably the strongest damage dealer next to Zoe. You also have thieves' tools, I assume, right?
I was the damage taker today.
Screw you, have thieves' tools, right?
Yes.
Okay. So just in case there's like or something that needs to be disarmed, things, you send you two across. I'll watch the machines. Of course, I'll stay in the demon grinder. We'll leave the other two vehicles. Oh, we can attach the bike to one of the bigger vehicles just so
Yeah.
it can't be stolen immediately.
Yeah.
That way we only have one vehicle to watch. And then I'll stay in the demon grinder. I'll send Shora into the other machine just in case. So we have someone to man it. And then you two go across and just, I'll cast guidance on one of y'all and hope that helps. Are you guys okay with trying that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I tell the rest of the party the plan. So the plan is drive around the lake. How big is the lake? Can we see the edges of it?
Yeah, but it's a pretty good sized lake.
Wait. Lake or river? It's okay. It's a lake.
I mean, it's a lake that's fed off of the stick, so it's like the water runs down, fills up the basin. I mean, it's probably like a calendar lake situation, so it's not like it would take you a day to walk around it, but it's not small. So to go around, I mean, it would take, I don't know. Depends on how far you want to go. Are they trying to get all the way to the other side of the lake? Maybe an hour.
We're just trying to find
30 minutes.
We're trying to. I guess if we can fly, it doesn't really matter. So, can you? Hold on. Let me just do this. It'd probably be easier for me to do it. I'm gonna draw what I'm imagining,
Going
and you
across
tell
would
me
be
how accurate
a
it
lot
is.
shorter. If you're saying you're
I'm gonna
going...
draw what I'm imagining,
Okay.
and then you tell me what needs to be adjusted. You don't have to draw or anything on it. I just want to. Kind of snip this, and not to scale. That was the questions I was asking about the scale, but this is kind of what I'm picturing. So the X is the Yugoloth camp. Oh, sorry, that doesn't help at all. I need the tower. X is the Yugoloths. The red circle is the tower.
Yeah, basically.
And we are the green. Is that basically?
Yeah.
So we're trying to get to the tower without passing near or through the Yugoloths. So my thought was, if it's a small lake, which is not what it sounds like, that's why I drew it bigger, is we just drive around to the other side, approach from the opposite side. But if it's a big lake, maybe we just drive upshore a mile from the Yugoloths. And then how long does fly last?
10 minutes.
Oh.
You could make it to the
Last
tower.
10 minutes. I mean, yeah, we drive 3 minutes up the road, cast fly. It takes them 3 minutes to fly like diagonally across the water to the tower, and now they have 7 minutes left on fly. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
So however far we get away from the camp, that allows them to be within a 3-minute fly of the tower. How far is that? 60 feet per round. And it's 6 seconds, so there's 10 rounds in a minute, so it'd be 1,800 feet. So about half a mile. And then that's diagonally. Let me draw this triangle here real quick. Pythagorean theorem.
I would say you can just
And
count
they
it
said
as the
we'd
same
never
distance.
use that in real life.
D&D distances
Count it as the same distance.
Yeah, they tend to not to just ignore the hypotenuse and just pretend like it's a square. So just say basically, if you want to say however many minutes, you could really just, because you're far enough away that they can't see you or interact with you. So you could say we're going to drive 3 minutes west, call it west, and then you have 3 minutes to travel to the tower and 3 minutes back, which means that you have 4 minutes at the tower to spend before you risk running out of fly.
Yep. And the worst case is we can fly straight to shore where the Yugoloths are, or 2 minutes up coast, because we can pick them up. We want to depart as far away as possible from the camp. So
I
about
would
3
say
minutes.
like one.
But
I
if
would
they're
say
running
like
low on fly,
I would say 1 minute from the tower straight back to the Yugoloth camp, if it matters.
yeah. So 1 minute is straight to the tower. We're 3 minutes out. So if they're like running low on time, they could go 2 minutes out and they'd still be safe, although they'd be cutting a little close. I like how we're using time as distance. I like that a lot. So yeah, that's what kind of what we do is we're just slightly up close from the Yugoloths, making sure they're not going to charge us and attack us or something. And Zoe and Scree will fly. Which one of you? Who has a higher Arcana check? What are your Arcanas?
I'm betting we're the same. We all suck at Arcana.
Probably
check.
similar.
Oh, I'm +2. I really thought I was worse.
You're probably trained in it. Scree, what's yours? I saw your microphone.
Hello.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Can you ask that again?
Yeah, what's your Arcana modifier?
Let me. 1.
Okay. So I'll cast Guidance because I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of an Arcana check needed once you guys get there. So we meet up 3 minutes. We meet up, all three of us, 3 minutes up the coast from the Yugoloths. I cast Guts on Zoe. I have Shora get it and grind the. I have them written down. Shora, no, I don't. Different notepad. Shora gets in the medium-sized machine. Jibs and I are still in the main machine.
Oh, okay. Let me
I
get
have
the
Lulu
machines
coming to the
updated.
main machine with me.
Okay, give me the
Okay,
machines
yeah.
again. So Scree and the Devil's Ride, that's the same?
The machines are all the same until we get to the coast. Once we get to the coast, we have a plan, but I guess we can physically do that before we enact the plan.
Okay,
We're not changing anything until we get there.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, so if everyone is cool with the plan, we're gonna move in and start doing that stuff.
I'm cool.
Okay, basically, you guys' goal is find Mordenkainen, get access to the tower, figure out what's going on with the tower and how we can maybe access it, find clues, and you got about 4 minutes before you need to start flying back. Think of it like the Animorphs morph timer. You've got 2 hours before you have to morph back, so you better be there and back before the timer runs out.
I have never watched Animorphs.
Oh, good. Well, I think we'll
What?
ask. That's fine.
I have a feeling it was a little bit after my
Yeah,
generation.
right.
No offense. Is this something that my parents would have approved of?
Oh no, definitely not.
That I didn't know what it was.
It's a
Okay.
it's a book series, and it was definitely after your time that you would have been reading it. However, it's really awesome because it was one of those, oh yeah, there's just a million book series for kids. Oh, this is one where kids turn into animals. How cute. So they didn't really closely monitor the content very much. And the lady who wrote it is like a rabid like socialist and wrote the whole thing as like an anti-war pro-socialist like screed and nothing ever
Well, now I'm
like
gonna have to read it.
every success ends up with some kind of horrible violence. Like, okay, it's a bunch of kids, like 12 to 15-year-olds, basically. That's who the heroes are. And they have the power to turn into animals to fight these aliens. Okay, but then, like, oh, if their body gets damaged while they're morphed into an animal, when they turn back to human, they heal up, right? So that means that it's okay. So the violence is so bloody and gory and graphic. Like, these kids are getting their bodies ripped apart and then like just barely like turning back to human. But once they're human, everything's fine. So see, it's not violence. They never use the word like they don't use words like kill. But I was reading this one scene, and it's like one of the first 3 books. It's like the intro to the series. And I read the scene, and I go, wait a minute. They just said that someone got shot in the head. And I read it again, and I go, someone just got shot in the head with a gun in a children's book. But they didn't say he got shot in the head with a gun. They said, suddenly I heard behind me, bang! I knew what that sound was, a ricochet, and I looked, and a man lied, unmoving on the ground. And I'm like, oh my God, they just described a person getting murdered in the head with a gun, but they described it in a way that avoids all the text censors. Only someone reading the story in full context understood what was happening in that scene. So it is written for kids, but it is written like there's a reason it was popular. Kids are reading it, and it's like, oh my God, this is like one of the characters is into Nine Inch Nails. There's a whole bunch of like internet and chat room references, like when all that stuff was new. They're cracking jokes about Bill Gates and Windows and things like that. All stuff that kids, and I mean, you know, our generation basically would have totally got and made it interesting. But an adult reading it is just like, oh, this is just some kid's book. But the theme of the series is the horrors of war. Oh, and also there's totally these two aliens that basically are homosexual. Like, they don't say that because that's not how sexuality exists in the alien world, but it's like two same-gendered aliens who are rejected by their society and just wanted to live out their lives together, sort of a thing. And Catherine Applegate, who wrote the series with her husband, I mean, mainly her, but he wrote some stuff too. She has a transgender daughter and is super like outwardly proud about it. Also, she's a former teacher and is actively like still writing and still involved in kids' books, and all of her stuff is like uplifting and pro LGBT and anti-war. You know, basically everything that J.K. Rowling is not. In fact, that's actually a huge meme, is why did Harry Potter get this huge movie treatment and is taken seriously by adults when Animorphs, first of all, the author herself is just cooler. Her politics are better. She's a nicer person. She's a better writer. But also the books, the themes and stuff are just gritty and realistic. And so there's this whole generation of millennials that are begging for an M-rated Netflix drama series where you've got teenagers cursing and getting their arms ripped off and psychologically being devastated by aliens. The aliens are mind control creatures, so it looks like your mother or your brother or your friend or your pastor, but it's actually an alien is controlling their mind, and it's basically like a metaphor for politics and religion and how really people just get their minds like, you know, overwhelmed by a group mentality. And so now you have things like, uh-oh, this person's dad is an alien mind control. Now he has to decide if he kills his own father. Like really hardcore, like shit like that. Oh, it's so good. Let me put it this way.
That's not a hard decision.
Well, for this character. Okay, so I read that as a kid. As an adult, I was reading it again because I encouraged my kids to read it. And I'm like, oh, wow, this still holds up. Okay, but then Deanna's sister, she loves reading and she loves sci-fi. She's got like a whole stack of, she's read like every good Star Wars book, you know, and she just totally into reading. It's a big thing she does. Loves sci-fi of lots of different kinds, okay? So she goes, oh, Animorphs, you know, I always wanted to read that, but I never did because, you know, Goosebumps. And I said, oh, you can borrow it if you want. And she got like obsessed with it and just was burning through the books. And she said that overall, it's a better sci-fi drama than Star Wars. That reading those books as a story is way better than reading Star Wars books. And it's darker and like just darker. Like the themes are just like, wow, like never. And what I want to say, like hopelessness. Like, no matter, like, even when you get a victory, it's still a loss. Like, you know, it's how war is horrible, and even when you win, like, there's really no good wars or something like that. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but if you read the first 3 books, you'll get it. And then it just gets better from there.
Yeah.
But it's kids' books, so you can knock them out really, really easily. But yeah, the themes. I can't say, I have to be vague because if you ever read it, like, it's just nothing but spoilers. Like, this is a book that's full of spoilers, and every spoiler is, like, heartbreaking. Like, oh my God. If you decide not to read it, then I'll just spoil some of the really good stuff for you later. Okay, anyway, so yeah, so you guys go 3 minutes down shore, and you're at the shore now, so go ahead and cast your spells, do whatever you want to do.
So once we're there, that is when we split up. So once we get there, you guys have 4 minutes, 3 minutes to get there, 4 minutes to explore, 3 minutes to get back. So don't take longer than 4 minutes. If you have to, stop what you're doing and fly back. I don't know how we're going to do timing, so just whatever that means.
I have no idea.
So once we get there, everyone gets out of the vehicles. We'll attach the Devil's Ride to the Demon Grinder, and the Tormentor will have Shora in it, and I'm going to have Lulu in the Demon Grinder with me, and Jibs. And then Scree and Zoe will be going across the water. Once you are across the water, I will no longer be able to communicate with you in-game or out of game, other than to suggest, like, common sense things, but I will not be able to give you instructions. So find Morton, find a way into the tower, find some clues about where he is if he's not there, and report back. But keep in mind, you are using a 4th level spell slot to get over there, so do the
Third.
best recon you can.
Oh, I'm using it as a 4th level. Never mind.
Yeah, all of your spells are 4th level. Except for the
Wow.
Bard ones, and those aren't high enough to cast Fly.
No pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a thing, but also, if you do talk to him, if he is there, keep in mind we don't have a way to get over there, so see if he's got a way to get us over there, and also figure out what's going on with the Yugoloths, and if it's safe to use the boat, because I don't really want to touch that unless he specifically allows it, but I'm guessing he's not going to be there. I'm basically just blasting you with all this information, so later I can say, no, remember when I told you? This is what I told you to do. This is what I'm going to remind you what I asked you to do, but I have to think of it all right now. So, yeah, whenever you guys are ready, I cast guidance on Zoe, and I say, good luck, come back if you need us, if you get in a bind.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so have you marked
So go
off
ahead and
your
narrate what you
have you
guys
marked
do.
off your spell slot? Have you cast the spell?
Well, I was going to wait until we actually cast it. I was trying to remember if we were casting Fly and then going, or if we were going down the beach 3 minutes and then.
Okay,
We
all
are
right.
we
So
are currently 3 minutes down the beach. We had
Okay,
just changed
Yep.
the machines,
Got
and
it.
you guys are standing on the shore ready to go.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, I cast Fly. Let's go.
Okay, you float into the air, and you begin flying in a straight line towards the tower. After about 3 minutes of travel, you arrive at the tower. Looking to your right, you can see the boat moored there. In fact, you kind of see some sort of a platform in front of the boat. It kind of seems to be the area that the Yugoloths are gathered around, almost as if there's some sort of a there's like a designated platform near the boat, is what I'll say. You get to the base of the tower and you see a large, looks like it's made out of iron, but it shows no signs of rust or anything else. And it appears empty inside. Looking down into it, you just see an iron husk of a foundation.
What everyone sees when they look into my soul. I mean, yes. Okay, I would like to look above real quick and see if it if it's like an elevator, if there's like a platform way up at the top or something.
It doesn't it's kind of built into an island, a very small island in this part of the lake. And it goes down a little ways like tower foundations would. It does not rise up very much at all though. You're flying way above it, I'm sure. There are empty iron foundations remain and no tower.
Um,
And you and Scree are floating there in the air looking at this iron tower foundations. From here you can see that the boat that's moored but near the platform, you see a tall slender figure standing in the boat, and it appears to be draped in some sort of black robes.
Okay, so that might be
Can you guys hear
Mordenkainen.
me?
Now I
Yes.
can.
Now we
Yeah, now
can,
we can.
yes. Sorry, she's on the same internet as us, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was having a problem. Anyways,
So the two of you are
What do
floating
you
there
think's
above the the empty iron foundations of Mordenkainen's tower. And you have 4 minutes.
first of all, I'd like to land on the tower real quick, like on the foundation bit.
Okay.
And,
So you land, and
so, like,
it's kind of like a shell of a tower, but the walls of the shell are thick enough that you can stand on it, kind of like a Minecraft situation. So you can stand there on the
oh,
rim, let's call it, of the tower foundations. And it's just a flat iron rim, and looking down, you just see total emptiness down to the foundations. There's no other, it looks like just an empty structure, but there's no rooms or objects or anything else.
oh, there's absolutely nothing of interest here, question mark.
Just big, giant iron tower foundations.
Okay, well,
Let's go land on top of the foundations and see if there's something there.
Scree is standing on top
You're really
of the
sending the wrong
foundations.
person to do this job.
I'm already doing that.
Oh, that's right. We already are.
And there's
Do-
nothing here,
Do
so...
only they see the robed creature in the boat from their angle? We couldn't see him from where we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rogue creature is not one of the like daemons or something. Bug things.
Well,
Are you asking or are you pondering out loud?
we
Because
won't
I can't.
know.
So from
No, is it in the boat like away from the other things? Like obvious
blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's do this. Let's do perception check to see how well you can see the guy with the boat. Let's start with that. Also, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I had to
Yes.
just put down our stats so I could roll it.
Good question.
I keep getting like these weird little beeps, and I don't know what alerted.
I got an 18 plus 2, so 20.
Okay, so pretty good
Got a
perception check.
fin-
Okay, so that's a pretty decent perception check. I'm gonna give you a better description of the guy with the boat. Make a religion check to see if you can determine what the guy is based on how well you see it.
Okay, religion check.
14.
15.
Scree, what was that roll that you just rolled?
14.
I mean, what are you rolling?
Religion check?
For
I
what?
thought we both were doing one.
Oh, well, Zoe said that he was looking at the guy in the boat and asked what it was. So now I'm his brain reacting to his query of, do I know what that guy is? Yeah. So you could too, but right now, like you haven't said that you're doing that yet. So I'm resolving Zoe's first. Okay, so 15. Actually, you believe that this is a daemon. You're pretty sure that there's like a boat daemon that travels people across the Styx, but you don't remember a lot else about it, especially from being so far away. But I mean, you got a 20 perception, so yeah, it's pretty solid info at this point. So it's a Yugoloth that ferries people across the river Styx.
But we're at an hour and there's nothing here.
Correct. And the ferryman is on the shore opposite the tower.
Should we go ask the ferryman?
You know what? Yeah.
Okay. I guess we're gonna fly down and ask the ferryman if he knows where Mordenkainen is.
Okay. I would say you spend about 1 minute examining the tower and such. And I said it was going to be 1 minute to go to the shore. So you guys are still fine on time, but let me just make sure. So we had 3 minutes to travel, 1 minute to explore, 1 minute to the shore. It's going to be 3 minutes back. So that gives you 2 full minutes to dick around at the shore, basically. So you both fly to the shore, and are you just gonna like basically fly over and land next to the boat guy?
That's what I had assumed.
Okay, cool. So he's standing there. He's not facing the tower. He's facing back towards the shore. And so as you guys land, you kind of hit his peripheral vision, and he does not immediately react to your landing. However, after you land, he turns his head slowly, and you have his attention. While you think of what your response is going to be, let me get a picture of this guy, because I wasn't ready, because I didn't know you guys were going to come in from the back.
Okay.
But this is
You
definitely
should know by
deserving
now,
of an image.
I always come in from the back.
Let me see. Yeah, okay. I'll just do this picture. You know what that means? Snipping tool. You know, if... Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me?
That's what the abortion doctor said.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway,
Oh, I know what the sound was. My earbuds are dying. Well, this sucks.
okay, as long as it's nothing important.
Yeah, hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay. I hope there's not bad feedback, so you're just on my speaker right now. God, yeah, see, I told you, literally nothing is working well for me. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be getting a picture of this guy. This image may be subject to copyright. My God, fine, I'll just do the snipping tool. Okay. All right, you guys see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So he turns and who landed closest to him?
I assumed me, but
Okay.
discreet.
So he turns to you, Zoe, and he says, "Greetings. What is your business here?"
Hi.
Squat.
We were looking for Mordenkainen because we were trying to find out, maybe find him, talk to him, some stuff like that. Do you know where we should be going?
Well, this is the location of the Tower of when so Mordenkainen desires
Oh.
it.
What do I need to do to make Mordenkainen desire it?
Ha! 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 I doubt there is a being in the multiverse that could make Mordenkainen desire anything. If free will had an embodiment, it is Mordenkainen.
Sorry, the phrasing was not the best wording. What I meant to say, I was just saying the wording was poor. I was just hoping that maybe I could find some way to locate him and,
But Zoe, you know that he's a traveler across all multiverses. He's a very busy man, you know.
Indeed.
So, what do we do? Do we just wait around for him to appear?
Many do. Before you see many Yugoloths vying for his attention. I suppose he must be returning soon, given how they've been collecting the last few days. But I am not privy to his schedule. He is quite a capricious wizard. However, if you're looking for a meeting, then you might want to get on the list.
There's a list.
In hell, there's always a list.
Is there anything we could do to bump ourselves up on the list?
Well, might want to start by getting on the list to begin with. You'll have to speak to... Oh, fuck. You'll have to speak to...
Who's oh fuck? ...
Because he would say the name, right?
Is that like a mispronunciation, like fuck boy?
He says, like all the others, you'll need to speak to Landerbold, the consigliere of Mordenkainen. He would be up on that platform there.
Anybody up there?
I'm just the transfer guy. When it's your turn to see Mordenkainen, then I ferry you out to him. But if you want to get approval for me to ferry you out, you're gonna have to talk to Landerbold.
All right.
Well, this is like waiting in a doctor's appointment room. Let's just get this over with.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, good sir. All right.
Thank you.
He says regards.
What platform?
Let's fly back up to the platform.
There's a platform above
Yes.
where the ship is moored.
All right. Let's fly up to the platform and see if we can talk to Lindenberry.
Whee!
Okay. You ascend to the platform. The encamped Yugoloths are farther in front of you. None of them are really crowding around the platform at all. And when you get up to the top, you see a black-haired woman wearing a purple corset and black robe, sitting in a chair, floating several feet above the ground. And she looks down at you and says, "Identify yourselves!"
That's my reaction. I scream and flap my bird wings that I don't have.
She hears you scream. She hears you scream and says, "I see your name is Scree." Because that's what you said. Scree!
Ma.
You accidentally identify yourself.
Yes, I am Zoe, and this is the aptly named Scream.
She says,
"Get on the list, please."
She replies and says, "Zoe and Scree, your names have been added for an audience with the great Mordenkainen." And her voice is like booming and oh yeah, remember Lord of the Rings when the elf bitch was all like, "I shall become terrible and powerful." It's like that. Like, it's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
And way over dramatic. Way over dramatic. Her eyes are glowing white. Hair is kind of like flowing freely, like just floating like she's underwater.
Show me what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
No, wait, that's my line. I'm the one with the big giant floating head.
Every single scene of D&D is either comic or very serious, depending on how you look at it.
Or both.
I'm pretty sure it's just the first one.
Usually. And she looks at you and says, "Have you other business?"
Not unless we can get bumped up the list somehow.
She says, "The list is infallible. Orders shall be taken in the order in which they they came in. Oh, God damn it. What's the phrase? Calls will be answered in the orders in which they were received."
We're received.
Oh, how long is that list?
She says, any who wish to wait on the list must physically remain in front of the tower until it returns. And so you can see how you can see the number in front of you. When that number shall not change unless any leave or become deceased.
Become deceased.
Yes, so I suppose if you killed every
Awesome.
single one of them, then you would be next.
There can only be one group waiting. All right. Well, thank you for the info. I suggest we get going, Scree, before we run out of fly time, because let's not fall into the river Styx.
Yes, but
You're on the safe side.
don't we have to stay here?
I thought we had to go back and tell the group. That's what our last 3 minutes are for.
Yeah, but then we'll be off the list. Can we go on the list again?
Your timing.
We're on the list.
Your timing was based on being able to safely get back across the water. Once you're across the water, which you are, you're not really worried about the timing. And I'm pretty sure I have been watching you and I saw you guys fly to the tower and then fly back. And I probably facepalmed a little bit when I saw you flying straight to the camp. With the 20 perception, you probably saw that. But I know that you guys are safe, so I'm not gonna come after you or something like that. You don't have to worry about the timer. I mean, it'd be nice if you had a fly speed, but if you want to stay there and wait, the timer is not relevant unless you wanted to spend that time to fly back across and keep investigating the tower. But at that point, you're kind of cutting it close.
No. I meant to fly back to the group. I got confused.
Yeah, you don't need to fly back to the group, but you do have however long. How long have you spent talking to the guy? 22 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah, you got 1 or 2 minutes left. Yeah, you got 5 minutes left on the timer.
So potentially you could spend the last couple of minutes, because really you didn't do that much investigating. You just flew over there, went, nope, nothing here, and then flew back. But it doesn't sound like there's a whole lot to look for. You just didn't really make any checks or ask any other questions. So you do have a little bit of time if you want to spend it going over there and looking. Other than that, it's probably fine to wait. We just don't know how long we're going to be waiting.
Yeah, but we're on this platform. I don't want to fall. I want to get down to the safety of the ground.
There's probably a ladder.
Oh, I assume this was preferential to flying creatures. Otherwise, it was a challenge just to get up here in the first place. That was the first test.
This is more like a cliff that overlooks the tower, and then part of the cliff descends down to a shore where you can get on a boat.
Man, I am picturing this place entirely differently.
Me too.
It's okay. It's real squishy. I don't have any pictures to show you, and I'm not drawing a diagram. And also, no diagrams exist. Just a rough idea in my head of locations.
Basically, you're on the safe side. You're on the shore, and there's a 2-tiered building with a platform on the top and a boathouse on the bottom. So I'm assuming that most of the creatures here probably can't fly. So the fact that you guys can fly was solely to get across the water. Okay. Flying was not required to get up to this little rickshaw platform.
Not that it really matters, but just to kind of describe it a little bit better, and it really doesn't matter, there's a kind of a flat encampment, and then there's kind of a path that leads up a slight incline towards a cliff that just ends before the water. But then off to the side, the path angles downwards and goes down under the cliff and curves, and then that's where the shore is. And then down there's like just a stake that a rope is tied to, keeping the boat there. So not like a dock and not any structures, but just kind of a natural shoreline and cliff that are, perfectly conducive to the, access to the tower.
So the platform was the cliff. It's the cliff that's overhanging. Yeah. It's an overhang.
Yeah.
That is overhanging, and there's a person on top of the overhang above the underhang, which is where the boat is.
Yeah. And the person on the cliff,
so you're on the ground.
Yeah, and on top of the cliff is the lady in the floating chair you're talking to.
Yeah. So if you want to spend some time waiting here, if you think the tower is going to be back soon, you can wait, and then I'll know that you guys are. I mean, as long as I don't hear fighting off in the distance, I know you're probably fine. You're only 3 minutes away. But it's up to you what you guys want to do. Worst case, if you fly away and you get taken off the list, then we get added back onto the list. There's not like there's going to be a line of Yugoloths that show up right at the last second. We're already kind of last in line.
Well,
okay, cool. Let's wait here then, just in case.
Hey, man, I don't think we'd be let in anyways anytime soon by sitting around and waiting. And there are 2 rules to all this anyway. You wait until someone goes in and goes out, or they die. And I think it would be kind of funny if we ran them all over or something, but that would be stupid. So that's like the information we have at the moment, and little to no predictableness about when his tower is going to come back. I'm just like saying my thoughts and ideas to you guys while I have the chance.
Saying your thoughts and ideas to me is more like it.
Yep.
They're over there just like face palming the whole time.
I'm waiting to hear news or wait for something to happen. But I can't hear that.
Zoe, make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Eight.
Okay. Make a perception check. Scree, also make a perception check.
All right.
12.
Okay.
Nick's like, I'm trying here, guys. Please work with me.
I'm just making sure that I run things correctly. Try my best.
25.
25? Oh, that's right, because you're a ranger.
Yes.
You hear a very quiet rustling and whispering coming from a nearby bush.
Bush?
Yeah, like, some like shrubbery, rocks, crap. Scenery. Yeah. You hear something whispering and rustling behind.
Carefully approach the bush? Question mark?
Okay, hold on.
Hello, bush? I didn't know bushes can move.
Okay, out from... God damn it. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay.
There. Out from behind the scenery steps this creature. And he says...
Oh, Jesus.
And he says... Ah!
Wait, the image is not loading.
Okay. And he says...
never mind.
He says, ah! Sharp ears there, Ranger. Congratulations.
Aw, look at him. He's so cute and small. Aw.
Make a wisdom save.
Gosh.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
5.
Okay. So you didn't say that, I'm assuming, but his ears perk and he kind of twitches his head and he says, he goes, you think I'm cute, do you? And then he looks over at Zoe and says, so, very nice. You're seeking Mordenkainen, and not just a day ago you were speaking to Tasha, the mother of all witches. You certainly are getting around. Tell me, who are you really? And she's talking to you, Scree.
Shouldn't I be asking you the same thing, little guy?
Oh, God.
Me? Asking me? Well, all I am is Igwil's master of appointments. That's all I am. Here you are out there communicating with all these Elminster, Igwilv. Now you seek Mordenkainen? Are you going to try to raise Tensor from the dead next and speak to him? Seek thou Bigby and Rary? Are you trying to just meet every famous person in the multiverse? What's going on here?
Yeah, that actually isn't a half bad idea.
Sounds like an expensive tour, but anyways.
I'd agree.
Our business is probably none of your business, little guy.
Hold on.
Before it curses us to something really bad, I would like to apologize and separate myself. I'm just kidding. I go down with the ship. But the ship isn't going down. Oh, looks like it's going down to me as I throw myself over the bow. Oh no, I'm tying myself to the keel. Hope I don't drown.
I'm just reading spell text.
It's a blessing in disguise to have players unfamiliar with the D&D universe to not know what a creature is when they see it. And innocently think it's a cute little fox, and it's like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, no.
Okay, so
there's a reason why I was like, oh.
So you feel the
I am very aware this guy is probably pretty bad.
Cute little guy. I'm like, oh.
You feel the creature. You feel the creature probing deep into your thoughts. Make an intelligence check.
Oh, Jesus.
Make a straight intelligence check to try to push him from your mind.
I think that ship has sailed with me attached to the keel.
16! 16!
Let's see. Yeah, not even close. So he kind of squints his eyes and touches his temple with his hands, and he mutters a whisper, and then he opens his eyes and says, "Oh, so you're just saving the universe is all? Is that it? You're going to redeem?
Yeah, that's it.
You're gonna redeem?" And then he stops, and his eyes get really wide, and he goes, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh you really need to speak to Mordenkainen. Huh? You really need to speak to Mordenkainen like right now."
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Why didn't you tell me? Oh, like he's actually like he's read enough of your thoughts that now he knows enough information, and he's like feels really bad about fucking with you.
I really hope he hasn't read my thoughts.
Yeah, he read your thoughts.
Well, he's not over there puking, so obviously.
He shakes.
Oh my god! In all my 5 million years.
Okay, so to drop the roleplay for a second to make sure that you get the information that you need. So he explains. So he since you refused to give him any information, he just used detect thoughts to find out everything he needed to know, and he is now willing to help you. He is interested in your quest because he knows that you're trying to redeem Zariel, which is not something that you should, that he wants to talk out loud about. Not that he necessarily cares about it, but it's like, oh, wow, this is like kind of like a top secret sort of situation. And he knows that the saving of Elturel is tied to saving the material plane. and he knows that Mordenkainen, he explains to you that Mordenkainen seeks balance above all else, and some rogue wizard coming into this, making himself a god and destroying all of the material existence and the planes is not something Mordenkainen would want to happen, definitely. He explains to you, because I'm sure that, you tell him, that you ask him questions and that you role play with him. Let's just go ahead and, pretend that you did that. Because I want to, keep this moving. And he explains to you that his name is Landerbold and that he's actually one of the primary assistants for Tasha, Igwilv, the Witch Queen, the mother of all witches, daughter of Baba Yaga, the most powerful witch in all multiverses, essentially. And he works for her. And she loaned him out to Mordenkainen for unspecified period of time for some minor debt. They communicate all the time. And so for right now, he's actually running appointments for Mordenkainen, which is pretty boring. Sometimes the other Yugoloths are entertaining. Yeah, he's a Yugoloth, by the way. He's a daemon. He's also incredibly powerful.
Arcanoloth.
Yeah, 16th level.
Arcanoloths are not something you mess with.
See, I did not know the lore, and I didn't know who it was, but I know the second you see a fucking fox, half humanoid fox, jump out in hell, I know that you take shit seriously. Because in every anime, every manga, every Japanese,
exactly,
everything there's either the cute little fox who's a trickster, or there's the one who's pretty much working straight for the devil. And you don't want to fuck with them.
I think you might have cut out, Nick, unless you just...
Nope, sorry.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, so, so he explains to you that, so this is what he's doing, and it's fun watching the Yugoloths rip each other apart, now and then. So he says that you still need to stay here if you're going to be waiting on the list to speak to Mordenkainen. And that it's probably safe to hang out around the other Yugoloths because they're all pretty much focused on, meeting with Mordenkainen. And in fact, he kind of chuckles and says, you can, feel free to socialize with them if you want. You might learn some interesting things. But he does caution you to be careful and says that it gives you the information that they're not part of one tribe or clan necessarily. So it's not like they're all together. In other words, if you get into a fight with one or two of them, you're not necessarily going to aggro all of them. But, I mean, some of them might. You need to... I'm sorry, hold on just a second.
Should probably be careful about picking fights with them because if you piss one off, their buddies might all come in.
Yes, if they're buddies. These creatures, these fiends are very... Yeah, they're very capricious. They're not like... Devils are beholden to law. Demons are absolute chaos. If anything, the daemons, the Yugoloths, are the most free because they can choose when they want to be civil and when they want to be violent. So you might go pick a fight with one and kill him and none of the other ones care, but maybe he's with a friend and they're on a quest together. So in other words, these are not just throwaway monsters, and I'm just going to tell you they all have names and backstories, and I'm not telling you to find out every single one, but I am telling you that fighting all of them is obviously not a good idea. Fighting some of them is potentially something that you could do, but you probably wouldn't want to do it blindly. And also, there's still the situation of Mordenkainen, and you don't know when he's supposed to be coming back. The Arcanoloth does not tell you. He tells you that when Mordenkainen does appear, that he usually stays for 9 days and answers, gets through as many queries as he can. And that he doesn't have a schedule, but usually various Yugoloths just kind of start congregating because they can sense that he's going to be returning soon. So likely he's coming soon, and you'll have to wait here and be aware of your, surroundings, but you can battle if you need to.
And unlike Jesus, he actually will return.
And you guys had good interactions and ultimately just kind of forced him to detect your own thoughts and just kind of push through it. But it turns out he is someone he has a job to do, and his job is to help people see Mordenkainen, and he was going to fuck around with you guys, but then realized, like, no, actually, they would be interested. So he is being more friendly than any other Yugoloths might. So entirely avoiding them is probably a bad idea, and treating them as your friends is probably a bad idea, and just going in balls out fighting them is probably a bad idea. So now you can... I think we'll kind of wrap up the session here. I mean, if anyone else wants to say or do something, we can do that. But you guys are technically, the party is split right now, so you're waiting for Raxlor or like something like, and you kind of came up from behind. You haven't met any of these other Yugoloths. If they just see an elf walking through hell, they might just be like, oh, that might taste good. So I mean, you guys can think of how you want to proceed. But he does give you that information and offers to answer questions if you want to know something.
A really quick question that I think it would be a smart thing to ask. That is, I don't know. I would hope the characters would think of this. Can they ask how far away they can go? Like, can they walk 3 minutes down the coast, come and get us, so we can also be there? Or if they leave the area, are they off the list? Like, because we also need to be added on the list. I don't know how that works.
You can leave and come back.
I felt it was you could get. Yeah, I got the feeling you could like put yourself on the list, but you want to be back before they start calling numbers. That's what I felt.
Yeah, it's kind of like a check-in situation, but he is going to try to expedite you. But if Mordenkainen shows up and you guys aren't here, he can't really keep, it's going to be harder for him. He's trying to help bump you guys to the front of the list exactly like you asked, but you gotta work with them. So if you hurry up, get your friends, and come back, then that probably wouldn't be an issue. By the way, he tells you that the Morenoloth, also known as a Karana demon, his name is Krykon. Not Karen. Karen is a different Morenoloth. This guy's name is Krykon. And he's a cool guy once you get to know him.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, how would you like to proceed? Just to wrap up the session, if you guys want to, because right now your party's split.
Hello?
Oh, can you hear me? No? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you. Sorry.
Holy hell.
That's
my bird. I've been trying to make him stop, so I couldn't listen in very well because I've been trying to make him stop.
Okay, so how do you guys want to wrap up the session? You got this. You can ask any more questions if you want. Basically, it's like a check-in situation. If you leave but come right back and go check in with him to let him know that you're there, then you're fine. You can stay. You can stay at the front of the list. So this is your opportunity.
Let's do that.
Okay, great. So go ahead and describe.
Let's do that. Let's go grab you guys. Okay. All right, cool. We're going to go grab the rest of our group, and we'll be right back. And we'll check them in, too.
He says, see
If
you
that's okay with
soon.
you.
Oh, and by the way, you notice him, like, make a dismissing hand wave, and the woman that was floating there entirely disappears. That was a major image illusion.
Whoa.
He was hiding behind the scenery, invisible, using that to communicate with you. But then when he started to casting Detect Thoughts to read your mind, then that made him visible. And also you, with your 25, you heard him chanting the verbal component of the spell. That's what you heard. Him casting him casting Detect Thoughts on Zoe is what you heard.
Okay.
This might not come up, but Detect Thoughts you cast, and then you have it active, and you continue using it. So he did not have to expend 2 spell slots. I don't think that's probably going to come up, but he could do all that he did with 1 spell slot.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's how that worked.
I mean, we didn't really realize what spell it was, but I realized pretty quickly on. But I'm not going to say anything.
I didn't expect you guys to start with the Arcanoloth. I thought that was going to be the big build-up.
So Fly did something! Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
So I think what you can do, I guess you're basically saying go back and get us. I think you can go back and get us without having to encounter any of the other creatures or having to worry about that, you can do a little roundabout around the water, and then we can all approach normally, but we're already checked in. Then we can just kind of talk to the people.
Yep.
That's how we can start the next session. Is, I guess, unless you guys had questions for the Arcanoloth right now.
No, I didn't.
Oh man, I memorized all this lore and read through like all this great information, and here's the Arcanoloth, and he's totally your friends, and anything you'd possibly need to know, he's right here, and you're like, nope, we're good.
I don't know what to ask.
I'll once they tell me what they found out, I'm probably going to go question it myself. So
well,
just
also
keep that stuff in mind.
Once you start communicating with some of the other Yugoloths, you might have some very urgent questions for the Arcanoloth. So some of the other guys that you see the big hulking green guys, and you see the bug guys. You also see a guy that looks kind of like a big round ball with a bunch of clawed hands coming out in all directions. You see another guy with kind of pointy ears and one giant arm and one tiny arm. Anything else?
Interesting. Is it a crab?
I think that's all of them. Is that it? Oh, and you see a dog-looking one with no eyes and a long spiky tongue. And they're congregating variously. So you might see like 5 of the bug guys grouped together. Then you look over and see 2 of the green guys with the dog thing hanging out. So they're kind of organized into various camps. So if you were going to communicate with or interact with any of them, I should say, I could describe each of the camps, and then you could tell me which one you want to go to and how you want to interact with them. But you're not really saying so, but I'm guessing what you're saying is you go back, get your friends and regroup, come back to the camp, but you want to stay like kind of on the edge of the camp, on the outskirts, so that you're not directly like in contact distance with another camp. Is that what's going on?
Like when they
Sorta.
When they leave to come get us,
you're gonna go along the shore so that no one sees you. You're gonna get them. Now you're all together 3 minutes down the shore. Now you're gonna go back to the camp. Where do you want to position? How do you want to enter the camp? Are you going to speak to anyone? Are you camping on the outskirts? Are you going straight back to the platform with the Arcanoloth? Where are you guys going to end the session?
Are we doing that now, or is that the next session? I assumed we would be starting that next session. We regroup, they talk to me and all that stuff, and then we go and enter the camp.
Okay, so you want to end it with they return to you guys, and now we begin with your conversation, and then you're returning to the camp. Is that it?
That's what I would assume, because anything further than that
That's
is going to
kinda what I
start
was
more
picturing.
conversations.
Yeah. No, that's what I wanted to know is where you guys wanted to end it. Okay, so the 2 of you leave the camp. And along the shoreline, none of the daemons notice you. They're kind of doing their own thing anyway. And you return back to your party. And we'll leave it there. So now you're at the shoreline, just 3 minutes down. And we'll begin with the conversation, because I'm sure that we'll want to do like a recap. And then also you guys can have any discussion and decide how you want to proceed. So, okay, we'll end it there. Wow. Okay. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Hope you had fun. I'll try to, see if I can get this uploaded later. Hopefully get my internet fixed, get on Spectrum or something good. And, it's so crazy how it's like, oh, it works, but then the Wi-Fi is shitty. It's like, shouldn't it work or not work? Like, what happened physically to the device that makes it pretty much work, but it just gets horrible latency when I'm streaming? Like I don't get it.
What
Just
are you
the
with?
bandwidth.
AT&T?
Well, yes. So obviously that's always the answer, right? Because
Okay.
AT&T is a piece of shit.
Also, but companies like that and stuff, they really hate people who do lots of streaming, so they tend to try and punish streamers. And even though you're not a frequent streamer, they don't give a shit.
Oh, that's true.
The type of data packet you send from streaming is different from packets like uploading and downloading, and it taxes it. Even if it's not as much data, it taxes it because it's continuous and has to be timed accurately. And they stopped giving a fuck, and they hate that people do that.
Well,
So you need to get a VPN.
it was better before the router got dropped in the water. I think the router getting dropped into water.
Jesus Christ! You could have led with that.
I said that earlier.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier.
I must not have heard it. Well, or I forgot.
Yeah, I hear this. I hear this.
Okay, yeah, that would definitely be part of the problem. Yeah,
I hear this crash in the living room, and then I hear the girls bitching at Miles, and I hear him go, "Sorry, it was an accident." And I'm like, God damn it! So I was thinking he smashed my laptop. But no, my laptop's okay. And I'm like, what was it? And he just kept going, I'm sorry, okay? And I'm like, oh, but what was it that broke?
Jesus Christ.
I need to know what it is. And then I look, and then there's the router sitting there on the ground. And he's like, I tripped over the wire. It's your fault that the wires were there for me to trip on. And I'm like, okay. And then I pick up the router, and it's off. And then I see water dripping out of the power port. And then I look, and the cat water dish is empty, so he knocked it across the room directly into the small bowl of water the cat's water was in. So I called him a couple. So I called him a couple names and unplugged the router and went to the other room and said, "Okay, Deanna, he needs to go home." And I didn't scream or freak out or anything, but so then we just streamed everything from our phones. And then the next day I plugged it in and it worked and it connected and everything's working. But like some things just aren't working as good. So this is the first hardcore thing I've tried to do. And Discord is barely hanging on. And then if I get on, you know what? It took a long time to upload or update OBS too. So I guess that's the situation, is just my... it's working, but there's something physically damaged on the box. But it doesn't matter because I want to get Spectrum anyway. You know what happened to me? I was walking through Kroger, and it was the rich big Kroger store that sells clothes and shit. So they've always got these shills in there selling cell phones and internets and crap like that. So there's a couple guys there to stand, and they see me smiling and talking to Deanna. So it's like, oh, good, this is someone that we can engage with. So they look at me and go, hey sir, how much are you paying for home internet right now? And I look at the kiosk and it says AT&T. And I go, your AT&T internet? And he goes, yep. And I said, well, I've already got it and it sucks. It's absolutely terrible. It's the worst thing ever. And I'm looking to change it to something else. And he goes, you should try Spectrum. And then just, went off to do his thing, and I just kept walking past, but I stopped and looked back, and I looked at Deanna, I'm like, okay, well, he said it. So, I mean, it's
hilarious. They've got that. They probably got to hear that all the time. So they've got a response. They're like, yep, Spectrum.
Yeah. He's selling AT&T.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah, he was selling AT&T. It's a case of, how much do you want to pay for internet? Do you want good internet, or do you just want to pay less?
Exactly.
He also doesn't give a shit.
Well, and also, if I have AT&T, then he can't sell to me anyway, so he might as well just be honest and be like, try Spectrum. It's like, duh, you idiot. What are you complaining about AT&T?
Your business.
Yeah, you're the one stupid enough to be paying for AT&T. Why are you complaining to me about it? Yeah, they do suck, though. I mean, there's times that AT&T has actually been, like, a good option, but the corporate, like, the executives of AT&T just hate their workers, hate their customers, and they really just make this, like, they don't give a shit. That was the company that I had to call, I had 10 times a tech came out to my house to fix their line problems. Like, there actually was an issue, and they fixed it. And it took them 10 different guys coming out and replacing various parts because it was just all shitty equipment and they didn't really care about fixing it or making it work. But honestly, we probably
enough to care.
Yeah, but now
I'm gonna go.
Okay, good night.
Okay, have a good night.
Oh yeah, I'm ending the stream. Bye, not stream. Yeah, bye stream. Oh no, wait, not go live. I just have to stop the recording.